Hey, what's up, everybody out there? Hope you're digging the new music. Shout out to everybody involved on that. I really appreciate it. I'm digging it. And you're right. I said it. This is the show that's going to be saying it. Welcome to season 2 of Iggy's Fantasy and Betting, episode 183, Monday, July 5th. Let me get it out there to everybody. Salut, hola, ni hao, bonjour, and hello. And to all the UK guys, why, hello. Hope everything's going well over there. And seriously, this is a worldwide podcast, man. You heard the intro music. I'm trying to put these trophies like I got right here up on your mantle, and this money, like I didn't pull in bad prop, but I'm trying to get that money in your pocket too. Football was really, really, really great to me last year. Just introduction. My name is Ignacio. Call me Iggy. And I've been playing fantasy football for over a decade for you new listeners. And I've been winning, man. I won over 100 people in the Pick 6 contest based out of the UK. I also finished 4th in the Warrior Bowl. I don't know how many people, 6 continents, every continent but Antarctica represented in that thing. Finished 4th. Really, really lucky to do that. Steven, my fellow Colorado man, worldwide competition, I just told you guys, he finished 1st, I finished 4th. Right here in Colorado, we're going to have him later. Multiple sport champion. I played 4 or 5 fantasy sports over a decade, but football was my first love. You can see it right over in there. And this is just the advice that you need to hear, man. Keep our shows around 30 minutes. Show tend to, some of them go a little longer, some of them go a little shorter, but I try to keep it right around there for you. For you, those are you familiar, you know we're going to be getting back to it, winning, the winning ways, and we're going to get down to that. Don't forget, guys, we are on all forms of social media before we get going. I'm on at IDP Iggy on Twitter, Iggy's Fantasy and Betting on Instagram and Facebook, and our YouTube channels, Iggy's Fantasy and Betting. Please subscribe all those. We just got up on TikTok at IDP_Iggy. So a couple different ones, but just go find us on all of them. If you look up Iggy's Fantasy and Betting, you'll pretty much find us on a lot of stuff. That's the website also, guys, IggysFantasyandBetting.com. Go check it out. All resources from last year there. Got the draft kit going, the Charity League, benefiting Kawasaki's disease. For you those watching on the YouTube channel, you can see it right here. It says Kawasaki 101 kids, man. They gave us this, and as a backpack, we had a coloring book. We were at Children's Hospital for 9 days with my 10-month-old. It's one of the leading heart diseases in developed countries, yet nobody knows about it. And it was really weird. Just a side note, my baby boy was born 7 days ago, last week. So we've been going really hard. No sleep. That's not stopping me, baby. You know, guys, I'm bringing it to you 5 days a week, regardless, sunshine, rainbows, hail, snow. It don't matter, baby. We're getting to this booth and we're getting things done for you. But Kawasaki Kids, man, go check it out. KawasakiKids.org. The hashtag Brave Kids, hashtag Strong Hearts. It's a disease that affects the heart. We've been fortunate so far. There's really not any data for long-term information. Is recently found, or recently discovered, I should say, and we're finding out more and more and more, and it's very important. Kawaski Kids, if you join the Charity League, 100% of all that money will be going directly towards research for Kawasaki's disease, and we need to stay informed, and we need to do our part, man. Fantasy Cares, hashtag Fantasy Cares, all that stuff. It will be going all of the proceeds, and guys, listen to me. If you join the Charity League, I'm selling the draft kit for $10. I'm asking $20 for the Charity League. If you can't get that, okay. I've had plenty of people that told me they couldn't. I'm not upset, man. My main goal is to get the awareness and let people know what this is, okay? But the truth is, if you do donate at least $10, I will throw the draft kit in for free. It's amazing, man. A lot of information I've never seen. I've looked at the fantasy footballers once, and because I just don't want to be tainted by other people's opinions and thoughts. And my draft kit's a lot easier for the beginner. It's also got a lot of information for you experts, and I know there's something in there that you're not being taught, you're not being covered, and we need to get that laid down for you and get that going, and it will be fun, and it will be interesting, and what's great about the Charity League, if you've never played in IDP, hello, this is IDP Iggy, and you never played in a big league, 16 teams, it will change your mind. It will make you drastically better in your standard leagues, in your 12-team leagues, in your 10-team leagues, in your 8-team leagues. You will dominate those leagues. That's what I've been doing now for about half a decade, is dominating smaller leagues, due to the fact I've played in this 16-team league for over a decade. 3 IDPs, defensive linemen. Real quick, you get 7 on 7. You can look it up, hashtag fantasy football sevens. It's going to be along with Iggy's fantasy or Iggy's F&B. Those hashtags kind of belong to me. Hashtag where's the D. Also, I'm a defensive centered person. To tell you, I've been around football since I was in like 3rd grade, so 10 years old. I played internationally. I've been around some pretty good football minds. I've been really fortunate in that sense, and I'm a lover of the game. I'm a student of the game. I keep Vince here for a reason, and it's to always remind me to pursue greatness, that you're never giving up. Fantasy football, it's a fantasy interaction. It's a digital interaction, but the competitiveness and what's taken to win is no different than any other team sport, and that's the bottom line, man. That's what it boils down to, and the big word, Vince Lombardi said it himself, the big word in football is execution. Fantasy football is no different, okay? The big word in fantasy football is execution. And we're going to have several examples throughout the days, throughout the whole process of this going on today. And it is Monday, and Mondays mock Mondays. So we will be getting to that as well. But execution, guys. If you can have, I can see it already, people with their best ball drafts in these leagues that draft way before the preseason even begins. A lot of that's dynasty. I'm realizing there's a lot of dynasty guys out there and girls, dynasty people. And, man, that sucks. But what I'm thinking is, you can see the hype. Oh, I've already got this. Oh, I just pulled off this trade. Woo, 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 woo. Done it. I told you guys all last year, success is a journey, not a destination, man. And Monday is going to be mock drafts. Draft's a big part of it. If you can nail down your draft, I got the draft kit, you're setting yourself up for success. You're not lost. You began the track on the track, and you're not wandering back looking at fast food or sports clips, read the newspaper. You're on the right track. If you do that, you're doing well. But it's very easy to get off track, and it takes a lot more knowledge than just a good draft to get you to a championship. We're going to be covering all that as well. We do have a mock draft for you today, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Memorabilia Monday, I'm adding that as well. Once Monday Night Football gets here a little closer, we will be busting out all my stuff, man. I mean, all this stuff you see here is mine. I haven't bought anything on eBay or anything like that. This is like 20% of what I got, setting up the booth a little bit here and there. You can see the Emmitt Smith, but it's Memorabilia Monday as well. We're going to be busting out some cards. I'll be showing you guys some pennants. Yesterday, I caught the marathon for about 4 hours. Yes, I'm a football junkie, man. I watch America's Game where they talk about the Super Bowl winners. I've seen most of them at least 3 or 4 times. Guess what? I had to hold my little baby boy, watching my little toddler. We watched America's Game. I watched it while they slept and played, and I was kind of watching them, so to speak. But I kind of caught a good era. I came in on the 92 Cowboys, and of course I finished it with my 96 Packers, beloved Packer fan. I try to keep the bias out of the bets. In fantasy, you'll see it show up a little bit more. And what an era, man. How fortunate am I to kind of really start getting the grasp and understanding of football at that age. And just what a great era of football, man. And it talks about dynasties, and I want you to become a dynasty even if it's in a redraft league. I've never really played too much dynasty because to me, it's all about the relationships. So that's what matters in football. That's what matters in fantasy football. It's all about the relationships, your job, your family, whatever. It breaks all down to the relationships. To me, that's what ultimately everything kind of breaks down to at the end of the day. Having said that, you have to develop those relationships long enough to have a dynasty. And if you develop a relationship with this podcast and with your team, I think we're going to get you to that dynasty form, winning 2 or 3 championships within a year, within a set of X amount of years, with you winning your betting year after year. Create your own dynasty. All right. That's what we're doing here in the fantasy football world. And, you got to do that. And it's really interesting because it is about the relationships. And, you're going to have to treat this like a relationship if you want it to be, if you want to be good, if you want to be a good bettor, if you want to be a good at fantasy, if you want to be a good commissioner, if you want to be good at podcasting. All right. Excuse me. That's always been my advice is you got to commit to it, man. You got to have that relationship with it day in, day out. You got to be looking sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning at waiver wires in really competitive leagues to get that competitive edge, If you're in auction, you need to be researching And this shows I've already done a lot of that for you guys. So if you can just tune in, take a look, we'll get it going. But, I hope you develop a relationship with me. I hope you feel confident asking me any question. Shout out to the Fantasy Football Hustler. I'm in the group on Facebook and, on Twitter. I'm kind of active on those two places the most. Also on the website. But, yeah, send me your lineup questions. We're going to answer them. I'm going to answer any question, any email that comes in, because that's who I am. I get that's what, the interaction, the relationship is what makes it so special, okay? And we're going to focus on that as well. But, fantasy football, bring it back. It's not, it's not a marathon. You hear that a lot. I hear that a lot on the shows. Oh, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. Well, then they'll say, well, it's a lot of sprints within a marathon. Well, how many of you out there have even ran a marathon? I mean, I've ran over 10K for several times. I live in a place where there's ultra athletes everywhere I go. Look, you can't go walk a corner without running into an ultra athlete. An ultra athlete is people that participate in marathons, but longer. All right. Instead of running, the standard, 23.5 or 28.5 miles, they run 100 miles, or they, instead of mountain biking 50 miles, they're going to mountain bike 100, and they're going to go over 3 passes, just intense. That's where I live at, up here in the mountains. The show tells you I live at a high altitude. I live where Olympics train, and it's good. It's good for my competitiveness, because let me tell you something. I'm a competitive person, man. I do not... Winning is fun to me. It is about relationships, but damn it, I'm in it to win it, baby. That's how my philosophy is. If you're in it, we're in it to win it. Hello, you play to win the game. It doesn't matter if it's fantasy sports. It doesn't matter if it's competitive sports. It doesn't matter if it's chess. It doesn't matter if we're flicking pennies out against the wall to see who can land one closer. I'm going to be very competitive, and that's my nature, and for better or worse, that's who I am. And I quit fighting that a long time ago. All right, I'm very competitive, rub people the wrong way, maybe come across arrogant, boastful, and you will too once you start winning and you give up as much time as it takes to be a champion. If being a champion was easy, everyone would do it. But it's not easy, so not everybody can do it. That's the bottom line. All right. So we covered a lot of the aspects of what's going on. It's time to get down, look at some of the, mock draft, dude. And I got an affiliation, guys. We're going to go with Fantasy Pros. Let me tell you, I'm such a bad procrastinator. I didn't get on there because I've had my old league, my league of record set up on Fantasy Pros, which I had to go in one by one, put in. Hey, that's over. You know what you got to do now on Fantasy Pros? Hey, let me link my league. Just link my sleeper league for the Charity League. All mock drafts this summer will be based off the Charity League format. 7 offensive players, 7 defensive players, including the defense special teams. Then you have a defensive lineman, linebacker, defensive back requirement. Then you have 3 flex IDPs. It's a super flex on the offensive side. So you got you got quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, flex, quarterback or running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then a super flex, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. And it's 7-on-7. You kind of have a captain the way this is broke down. Your quarterback is your traditional high-scoring quarterback, 6 points per passing touchdown, big play incentive league. Anybody that gets a big play or has a hard-working game will be rewarded. And so to break that down, quarterback throws 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, that's going to be a big game. Well, if a defense holds a team to 10 points, or let's say they hold them to 9 points, under 300 total yards, two interceptions, 1 took to the house, they're going to have a huge game. All right, so I balanced it out for you on there. But to bring it back to Fantasy Pros, man, I just said I just put in my username, select one of the 6 sleeper leagues I'm in, which happened to be the Charity League. And then it uploaded it all for me. Right now, roster positions, QB1, running back 2, wide receiver 2, tight end, no tight end requirement, And then we have the wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end. So there's your 7 offensive positions. Defense, special teams. We do play with kickers. Hashtag kickers matter. Kicker people, come holler at me, baby. In the Charity League, they can score you lots of points, man. I'm telling you, the way I set up this Charity League, it's an example of how to make points work for your league without cutting positions. Why the hell do you want to cut out defensive and special teams? Why the hell do you want to cut out kickers? That's baloney to me. Those are some of the best plays. And you ever seen a kickoff return to the house? I just watched the 96 Packer run. Desmond Howard got so many kick returns, one of them being against the Bill Parcells-led Patriots. Okay? They get back in the game. What do? They make a mistake. Adam Vinatieri, the great kicker, kicked it to Desmond Howard, who ended up winning the MVP. He took it to the house. That game's over. Why don't you want that play in your fantasy points? Stupid. Let's get that going. Kickers. You ever won or lost on the last second Monday play? Game's over kicker. Let's see if this game's up. Win or lose for them, win or lose for you. I've been on the bad end of it twice. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to come down to the very last play from Thursday all the way to Monday, and on the very last play you lose or win. That you should not ever desire to get rid of that for fantasy football. If you do, you're just a fuddy-duddy. I said it. All right, but then we got 5 bench spots, 1 D lineman, 1 linebacker, 1 DB, 3 IDPs. It's loaded. The points are loaded. It's fun, man. And we're going to randomize. We got the 6th position. We're starting the draft now. And you know the thing I like about Fantasy Pros, guys, is I can come in here and make a draft, and it'll happen lickety-split. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not sitting around waiting for some other jabroni who's running his mock according to what his league is set up, and these people set up as standard, and then the robot's coming in with that. No, man, just give me my own. Let me get what I want, and we're going to get going, because I want to get 5 mocks done by the time it takes you to join a bunch of jabronis and fugazis and their standard and all that jazz. I'm going to get 5 in before you get 1 in over there, okay? And I'm going to be a lot better for it. They got draft strategies. They got everything lined up on the left. It's a beautiful, beautiful interface for you guys on sitting at home. Maybe you can kind of see it on there on the YouTube channel. I highly, highly recommend it. Affiliate. I'm going to be writing for them as well. And here we are on the clock. Oh, it's going fast. Ooh, the Super Flex League. First pick. See, this is why this matters. The first pick in this charity league, Josh Allen, not Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's I've been playing multiple formats, multiple best balls. Christian McCaffrey's always a number 1. That's that standard stuff. This is going to teach you how to play football and appreciate football in a different manner. Super Flex League, Josh Allen, 101, followed by Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Justin Taylor. We are on the clock, baby. Super Flex League. It's so hard not to want to go quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is like, they have people they suggest you to do it. You can break it down by position. You can get the expert's opinion on what's the average ADP on this, what's the average ADP on that. You know what? I'm going to cut the B alone, and I'm going Alvin Kamara with the 6th overall pick. Boom, and then it starts going. They're going to let the computer do their picks. You know, we're doing this live. This is a live mock draft happening right now based off the Charity League. Kawasaki's disease. Let's go help it. Let's get it funded up. We need to get it in there, fill it out, have a lot of fun. I'm going to be writing stories for you guys every week. Every week there's going to be weekly stories in that league for all 4 conferences. Prizes for the division winner. Quarterback going back off. Let's go back to previous 5 picks to give you an idea. We got at the 205 Lamar Jackson, Cam Akers, Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, Travis Kelce, and then Justin Jefferson coming off the board. I'm taking a quarterback in a super flex league. Boom. There he goes. Russell Wilson come to Team IDP Iggy, baby. Russell Wilson's going to have a good year. He's going to meet up his recommended his yardage. I think he's going to be about the same. He's got Lockett. He's got DK. He's got Everett. Secret pick right there in Everett, guys. Russell Wilson loves his tight ends. I think Everett can have a big year. He's slipping. Week 9 bye. I think it's good to go. Coming back around in the third round, DK Metcalf, 301, Michael Thomas, Chris Carson, J.K. Dobbins, and then Swift. And look who it is looking on the quarterback position. Tom Brady's the best available player. He's got a Week 9 bye, though. And we go look at our roster real quick. Russell Wilson's got a Week 9 bye, so that would be putting me in some kind of bind. If you guys notice up here for the YouTubers, I got Tom Brady's passing yards on DraftKings for the season. It is set at 4,500.5 yards. The over is -103. The under is -125. Season long bet. If you place that bet today, you're going to have to wait till mid-January. You're going to have to wait till 2022 to cash out on it. Keep that in mind. Very interesting. Tom Brady, you love him, you hate him. Let me hear your response. Is Tom Brady going to go over or under 4,500.5 yards? Whoa, mercy, that's a lot. Coming back around to me, we got Ryan Tannehill available, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts. It's interesting what's out there. We got running back Miles Sanders, Myles Gaskin, Mike Davis, man, Miles Sanders is hard for me to take. That's just 70%. And see, be leery what you do. Every website you're going to is going to have a different ranking. It would be really hard for me to roll with Miles Sanders as my number one. No, I mean my number two running back. And this is the thing about a 16-team league, guys. You got to start making serious decisions in the third round. I don't have a wide receiver. I don't have a defense. I don't have a linebacker, but it's a super flex league. And the quarterbacks, once you get out there, we are, let's see. Honestly, guys, on this Fantasy Pros, I've been using the cheat sheet for a long time. And then you can hide the drafted players. And they have it already tiered out for you. Their tiers aren't going to be like mine, I promise you that. I see some names up there that I don't have in my 2 and 1 and so forth. But we're already on the 20th running back. That's already off the board. 19 running backs have already been taken. All right. We're on the tier 3 of quarterbacks. We're in the tier 3 of wide receivers, and this is my third pick, guys. So you got to pick your poison in a 16-team league. There's no just messing about and picking this and picking that and being happy with it. With the half-point PPR, I think I got to stay. I got to round up to my big 3. I see some quarterbacks you can go with late. We're going to have to stab at some running backs here pretty soon. And we can't forget our IDPs. In this league, you get just as many points with IDPs as you do offensive players. So Charity League, keep that in mind. We just took Keenan Allen with the 306 pick. All right, we'll have to see what it comes back around on the 4. Ooh, starting to see. There goes Kyle Pitts, a lot of wide receivers, Evans, McLaurin, Woods. So it might have been a good thing to take Keenan Allen. Quarterbacks, we still got Matt Ryan, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tua Tagovailoa, Big Ben, and Derek Carr. We got Josh Jacobs, Mike Davis, Travis Etienne, James Robinson down there. Javonte Williams is still there. Melvin Gordon is still there. You are getting in some rough areas right here, man. The defensive linemen, we go look at IDPs, they're all available right there for you. I really like having a staple IDP. A little sneak code about me. I do oftentimes go with IDPs with my 4th or 5th pick. All right, that does happen with me. But I got to draft Josh Jacobs. He's a serviceable running back 2, ranked number 21 on this website. Make sure you go grab my draft kit if you want to find out where I got Josh Jacobs. I did own him last year. So sometimes that taints your opinion and sometimes it doesn't, right? It's kind of one of those things. Mike Davis still on the board. That's pretty hard to say no to. Kenny Golladay, T. Higgins, last of the tier 4s. Let's see here. All the IDPs are still available. Man, oh man. You know what? I got to pull the trigger. We're going to take the first IDP off the board right here. And it's no surprise who it is. It's my man, Devin White. He beat me. He beat me. And he's good. You can't go wrong. You won't go wrong picking one of the top 5 defensive players. As I've said before, in my league of record, one time we had the 101 J.J. Watt. Oh, my gosh, man. What were you thinking, Mikey? You gave up so much. J.J. Watt ended up being... excluding quarterbacks and defensive teams. He was like the number 4 overall player that year. Man, Mikey did a good thing on that. So sometimes just nail your IDP picks, man. Look at that tiered ones. Pick 2 from each of the tier 1s, from linebacker, defensive lineman, linebacker. Take a look. Let's see where we're going with it. All right, let's review our roster real quick. We got Wilson, Kamara, Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Devin White. This takes a long time to do this draft through this way. So let's go take a look. We still need another quarterback in the Superflex League. That is very important. Jameis Winston. We're getting in some no names. Daniel Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston, Zach Wilson, Cam Newton, Jared Goff, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Deshaun Watson, Drew Lock, Tyrod Taylor. We're going Daniel Jones. I think there's a good potential for them to be coming from behind a lot in the games. It's a very good opportunity for your quarterbacks, for your wide receivers on those teams. All right, Daniel Jones off the board. A value pick, number 72 overall, according to Fantasy Pros. I got him with my 91st overall pick. You do not want to be shortchanged in a in a super flex league. You want to make sure you have your quarterbacks. You know what? And I just got to take this guy. We have 2 running backs with Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara. I need another one. We're going to go with, because wide receivers, we got Juju, Robbie Anderson, Tyler Boyd, Debo Samuels, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Jerry Jeudy, Jarvis Landry, Laviska Shenault, Corey Davis. But I just don't want to be caught short in the running back room. So I'm taking David Johnson. Week 10 bye. If you're setting up your buys, my running backs have a week's buys of 6, 8, and 10. That's what makes Kamara so valuable. You can get him in that week 6 bye, and you can just have him the rest of the season. And there's several bye weeks in the later seasons, 8, 9, 10. Guys, in the draft kit, I break down the bye weeks per the team for you. If that's more your philosophy, they're all right there on the page. Break it down, make your draft kind of off of that as well. I left it where you could customize it. I'm just bringing the information to you, right? I have my suggestions on what you should do, what we should all do, but it's just not there. All right, I got to go back with Jarvis Landry, man. I got to take my guy. He's a PPR machine. I think he's Baker Mayfield's favorite target. So we have locked up the starting offense for the Charity League. Kawasaki's disease, guys. Go donate, go join. Russell Wilson, Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Jarvis Landry, David Johnson in the flex, Daniel Jones in the super flex. That rounds out the offense. Let's go look at some defenses over here. Defenses in this league get you a lot of points. Pittsburgh sitting there, Los Angeles sitting there, Baltimore, Washington sitting there. You know what? But those all teams still sitting there. I'm going to go look elsewhere and look around, see what I can find. Let's go. We're already on the tier 3 of the defensive linemen. Ooh, Darius Leonard still sitting there. We ain't passing that up, fellas. Let's go get linebackers. That's the name of the game for me. You can go with different strategies, and you got to be careful with Jeremy Chin, how he's rated. I put him in the linebacker ranking because that's where I anticipate him being. Here he's at a DB. Some websites, Sleeper, they give you a dual designation sometimes. That's an ultimate cheat code. You want to make sure you grab those guys, see what's going on with them. Oh, let's just keep loading up this defense. Let's go with Budda Baker. Nothing wrong with that. The Arizona Cardinal, one of the best DBs in the land, and people are going to let him sit there that late. Defensive linemen just keep going, though, man. You see, this is a different strategy. How are you going to go about it? Are you going to take defensive linemen? Are you going to take linebackers? If they're going to keep giving me this, we're coming up right now on our 11th pick right now. Let's see. Yeah, coming right around. Tight ends are going to be undervalued in this league because you don't have to have one. So keep that in well. Roquan Smith, Blake Martinez, Bobby Wagner. I got to go with Roquan. In my opinion, I might have the 3 best linebackers in the NFL. Devin White, Darius Leonard, Roquan Smith. Now, I'm sacrificing some depth to my offense because you can. Oh, J.D. McKissic just went off. That's a cheat code for you guys. But I felt really good stacking up my defense and being prepared for it. Oh, the defensive special teams are starting to go off the board. You know what I want to do? I think the AFC South is going to be a very interesting division. It's a 2-horse race, in my opinion. You got a rookie quarterback expected to go in and do great things. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. So let's go get an AFC South defense. We're going to go get the Indianapolis Colts, and we doubled down with Darius Leonard all season long, baby. Every big play Darius Leonard makes, we're getting double the points. That's why you want to play with defense, special teams. That is one of the aspects that make this charity league so freaking fun, man. You can double down with the defense and a linebacker. Do it with TJ Watt and the Steelers. Get every sack twice. That's how you can do it, man. That's a good way to go about it. Man, here we are. Whew. David Johnson. We got 2 wide receivers. You know what? Laviska Shenault is right there. Not much in the running back front. You really start to hit this. This is where you get in trouble in 16-team leagues, and you better be able to find that backup that's going to play. You know, that is going to be very, very important. But I think we need to go back and get a wide receiver, and I'm going to go with Laviska. Well, I'm kind of torn. So there's Brandon Cooks, Laviska, Devontae Parker, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, Marvin Jones, Michael Pittman Jr. There's some good names there. I think I gotta go with Michael Gallup. I want a Dak Prescott receiver, man. And that's part of the draft kit. I'm not trying to talk too much about it on the podcast, so I want you to go get it. But that's just one of the, like, my cheat sheets that I put in, right? Everybody can kind of have their own rankings, right? But I put in some information I don't see anywhere else. And it really comes into play whenever you look at who's the coordinator, who's the quarterback, who are they playing against? Oh, the NFC East 6 games. Pfft, name a great cornerback out of the NFC East. I'm waiting. Well, you can have Bradbury, but, after that, it gets kind of slim. So that's kind of one of the cheats for me to do that and how I like doing it. All right, let's go ahead and start. We're going to throw up this wide receiver board. This is one of my strategies, and we're going to do the same thing. I want a good quarterback throwing the ball to the wide receiver. So we got LaVisca, Devontae Parker, Brandon Cooks, Marquise Brown, and Mike Williams. Well, I want Mike Williams. Say what you want. The numbers weren't that great last year. 2020 stats, 15 games, 48 receptions, 85 targets, 756 yards, 5 touchdowns. I believe in Herbert, though. I really do. And I think he can lead these guys to a pretty good victory over here. So we're starting to fill up our bench. We got the 2. Let's go after some more starters, guys. Derwin James going late. Jesse Bates, a great Jordan Poyer. My God, Zach Cunningham. Here they come. Mad dash on the IDPs. And when you play both sides of the ball like you're going to be playing in hashtag fantasy football 7s, you're going to see that. You're going to see somebody come off, and they're going to grab some players. And then it'll just start an avalanche of these players coming off. For some reason, we have gotten 63 defensive linemen and only 6 linebackers and 6 DBs. Don't expect that to happen when you're playing with other people. Defensive linemen are kind of people's favorite, so there's always that. So you do have that aspect of it. But I'm down here with Devin Godach, Sean Robinson, Calais Campbell, Marcus Davenport, Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram III, free agent, Kwity Paye. Those are my defensive linemen. So I'm going to look elsewhere, and I'm going to stack it with Jabril Peppers, New York Giants. Oh, Justin Simmons, man. I have to change my mind. I like Nick Fangio. They just signed Justin Simmons to a huge contract. They kind of are building this defense around him. 77 tackles, 9 passes defended, 5 interception, 1 forced fumble recovery last year. I'm taking him, man. He's a stud in that defense. Justin Simmons locking it up. IDPs. All we need is a defensive lineman, and the starters are set there. We do need a kicker. We do need a defensive lineman and 3 bench players wrapping up this draft. Yeah, dude, it's fun. There's nothing like draft. I'm sweating, getting pumped up. The hell, this is a mock, guys. For a charity league, I've played several formats in this format several times. Man, it is getting nasty down here in the defensive lineman front. We're going to do the 0 defensive lineman strategy, but the kickers are still on the board. And with kickers, you got to ask yourself who's going to score a lot of points. We got Young-Hoo Ko, Justin Tucker, of course, number 1, Harrison Butker, Greg the Legs Zerline, Jason Sanders, Rodrigo Blankenship. And there's a strategy you can take here. If you have one of these quarterbacks, if you have Lamar Jackson, if you have Patrick Mahomes, Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott, I have 0 shares of those guys. But if those guys are available, go get one. People are like, well, if they have a bad game, you're not going to get any points. Well, let me tell you something. If they get down in the red zone, you get a field goal and you don't get the touchdown. Well, you got some major points in this league because the way the kickers are the points are divvied out for the kickers. It starts out pretty high. It's pretty easy for a kicker in our league to have an 18, 20-point game. And that's just as good as a wide receiver 2, running back 2, or hell, a running back 1. All right. So that's just the bottom line. In this situation, man, this is tough for me. Tucker and Butker, great quarterbacks, play outside. Young-Hoo Ko in Atlanta. I don't see him scoring a lot of points. So I may just sit on a kicker. We're going to sit on one. We're going to go back up to the offense. I have 2 quarterbacks. I like to have 3. And I'm going to take a chance. I've been doing this very late and almost